Welcome to week number 2. Last week we were talking about countables and uncountables. We saw some food vocabulary and we also saw some and any. This is a slide from last week. And we were talking about how we use them when we don't say an exact quantity. So here the example is there are some apples in the bowl, but I'm not saying if there are 7 or 8 or how many apples, okay? And here it's the same. There's some juice in the fridge, but again, I'm not saying how much juice, okay? So, not exact quantities. When we want to know an exact quantity, what we do is we ask using how much or how many. What's the difference here? I'm sure you already know, but in the examples you can see that we have here how much milk do you drink in a day, how much time do we have to finish the test. So how much is used for uncountable nouns, and on the other side we have how many students. You see the s for the plural. How many days, it's plural. We can count 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, one student, two students. So how many is used for countable nouns, okay? You may already know this topic, but again, it's good that you practice, okay? Now, when we answer with a large quantity, we use a lot of, or lots of, or a lot. Can you tell the difference between the three? I'll give you a moment to read the examples here. So the first one is we met a lot of people when we went out. I have lots of friends from Guadalajara. The teacher speaks a lot. Do you see the difference? So for this first two, there is no difference, okay? These two are the same. So, the only difference is if you use a, don't use the s. It's not plural. When we use the s, we don't use a, okay? So these two are basically the same. Lots of is very used in speaking, in casual conversations. And now this one is different. Why? Because when we have of, whether it's a lot of or lots of, we have something, a lot of people, lots of friends. But here we don't have anything. The teacher speaks a lot. We cannot say a lot of because there's nothing here, right? So we use this in, positive or negative or questions. So for example, here we don't meet a lot of people when we go out. I don't have lots of friends from Guadalajara. I only have one or two. The teacher doesn't speak a lot. Okay. Um, does your teacher speak a lot? Yeah, sometimes. So, yeah, we can use them when talking about a large quantity. A lot. Okay. So, here's what I was telling you. Of is omitted when not followed by a noun. Okay. What this means is we don't use of because we don't have something here. And we use them for countable and uncountables. People is countable, friends are countable, but we can also say a lot of water. I drink a lot of water. I eat a lot of sugar. I don't know. So on the other side, when talking about small quantities, we say not much or not many. Remember the difference? Not much time, this is uncountable. Not many tourists, that is countable. So right now there are not many people outside because of the quarantine. There is not much time to finish the exam or whatever. And as you can see, we use it in negative sentences. Okay, so there is not much time. There aren't many tourists here. Also, small quantities, we use a little and a few. Again, I'm sure you know the difference. We have here, could you give me a little sugar? We cannot count sugar, that's uncountable. And here, my town only has a few movie theaters. Countable. Movie theaters, it has the S here. So a few cars, a few students, okay? A little water, a little sugar, and a little or a few means some, but not a lot, okay? It's a small quantity. If I tell you, could you give me a little sugar? Just give me some sugar, but not a lot, okay? Now, here's an exercise that will help you. I hope it helps you to practice a little bit. Cups of coffee do you drink every day? So, cups, plural. We can count 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. So, we use how many? We're very lucky where we live because we have shops nearby that sell great food. A lot of or a lot. Remember, a lot if there is nothing here. A lot of, we need something. So we have shops, so we need a lot of shops. Okay? They moved to France years ago. We can count years 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 5 years. So a few years. There isn't cheese in the fridge. Can you count cheese? Much, many, or a lot? What do you think? Well, we cannot count it, so much. There isn't much cheese, okay? And finally, if I want to pass the exam, I need to study a lot of, many, or a lot. We cannot use a lot of because we don't have anything here, okay? So we need a lot. I need to study a lot. Finally, we're going to see some vocabulary this week about how to count uncountable nouns. We cannot count them, but we can measure them, and we use containers for this. So, how much water do you drink? I'm talking about water. It's uncountable. We cannot count water. We don't have waters, right? So we use much. But if I want to measure, I use a container. In this case, a glass of water. So you see how much water, but on this side we have how many glasses of water do you drink. You see how it changes? So water is uncountable, but glasses, you can count glasses. Maybe you have, 8 glasses of water a day? Or maybe 5 glasses of water, I don't know. We also have different containers, for example, a cup. We can have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a can of beans, a can of soda. So you will see different containers throughout this week, and I hope this explanation was clear. But please tell me if you have any question or doubt. Send me an email or write a comment on Google Classroom, and I'll be very happy to answer any doubt, okay? So, see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.